Hello, my name is Xavier Lopez and I'm a batch 3 soon to be grad, and in this video you'll find my thoughts on the HTC program. Enjoy. I'd say my biggest problem prior to HTC was actually mindset, or rather lack thereof. See, from what I've learned in the training is that the first step in achieving any and every goal is to first take the step of making that mental shift towards whatever goal you have. In terms of losing weight, the first step we're going to actually take is shifting your mindset into someone of that I am a healthy person. I like working out, so forth and so on, as opposed to if you're to go into it, sure, you may go to the gym consistently by luck, you may lose so much weight, that's perfectly fine, but if you want to consistently stay that way, if you want to reap the results for so many years on end, you have to make that mental shift. Otherwise, as Dan taught, you'll just slink back into your old ways. You'll go back to what you subconsciously believe is, in fact, who you really are. So I'd say that was my number one problem as far as before HTC. I'd say the biggest fear that held me back from joining HTC initially was financially. I was wondering, one, is this going to be worth my time? Am I going to waste it? What if I make a fool of myself? Whatever. And as we learned in the course, that is absolute garbage. It is completely false. It's just these self-limiting beliefs. Again, as I was talking about previously on mindset. Now, another big thing that I'd say, if anything, held me back a little bit, was thinking, what if I don't make my money's worth? What if I get into the program and I actually just don't pick it up? I don't do it. I leave it down. Because I've actually had courses in the past. Full respect to Ramit Sethi. I love his work. He has absolutely phenomenal. He's helped tons of people. But whenever I've actually taken one of his courses, because it's online, you can go at your own pace, which that sounds lovely in theory. But one of the biggest problems is that depending on where you're at, you might just push it off. Depending on how much you value it, you procrastinate, you'll eventually maybe even never actually go through the course. And that's heartbreaking to just take that content, valuable, immense, and who knows how much it would be worth, and to just leave it there and never do anything with it. So with that in mind, one of the biggest things that absolutely absolved this for me personally in the HTC program was that it was a live mentorship. It was a live thing, and we had homework, and we had homework that was due every single week, and I made sure to get all my stuff in every single week. And just me being me, as soon as I heard, like, one example, I just want to talk about this for a quick second, just for funsies. I remember hearing, I think it was week 1, 2, somewhere early on, is that it was in the lies assignment that I heard that Dan was really impressed with someone else saying, oh yeah, someone else last batch did 80 pages of it. And so my mind, I suppose this is pulling out my inner Ruby, I was thinking, if that was someone else's best, that needs to be my minimum. And so, of course, 80 pages right there, plus my 5, 15, I don't know, whatever page, the other part of the assignment. And so, yeah, just a little fun bit of knowledge. Fun fact, if you will. What made me the happiest in joining HTC is quite easily my mental shift, who I am as a person internally, mindset, everything, my thoughts, my consistency, my focus, everything's gone up dramatically just because I focus on. I mean, you think about it, what's the one thing that goes through every part of your life? Your mind. How are you ever gonna go through your job, go through relationship, anything like that, if you're not mentally there? And that's like the one thing, to me personally, is the one thing you can focus on yourself, and that will reap benefits across the board. So I'd say, once again, my biggest benefit, the thing that made me happiest again, is just getting past these limiting beliefs, realizing what I really am capable of, what I really can do, and not letting any of these little thoughts, these little mental garbage, the voice in the back of your head saying you can't do it, you're not good enough, X, Y, and Z, all these different reasons why you can't do it, but instead just putting them to rest and saying, hey, look what I've done. I can easily get this done. Now, I need to reverse engineer what I need to do on a daily, weekly basis to get there. But as far as actually accomplishing it, it is 100% in my control. And so absolutely, that has made the happiest. That'd easily be the biggest, the biggest thing that made me happy in it. I'd say one example of this would be how in my relationship, I realized one of the biggest limiting beliefs I had that was holding me back from actually taking the next step with my, I was gonna say my girlfriend, my little snack. No. One of my biggest, giving you an example, one of my biggest limiting beliefs that was holding me back in one area was my relationship. Thinking that, what if I'm not able to provide for her? What if I'm not be able to provide for my children if they have to live the poverty-stricken growing up childhood that I had to? I don't want to put them through that. It was sincerely something that I did not want to ever remotely put them through. And so, once again, taking the mindset that HTC gave me, and I just know I'm going to be infinitely successful in whatever I do. Financially, I'll make the money I want. Relationship-wise, I know I'm going to put a ring on it, you know? One day I will absolutely, and I've actually made a pact and a full commitment to the whole program, that everyone that's on it, that within 12 months I'm actually going to propose to her. It's probably going to be sooner than that, but you know, we'll see how far my finances bring me. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that I can achieve this goal. There's plenty of others, family, fixing all the family issues. Like what baffles me is how ridiculously underpriced this course was. The same skills that I use in this, I'm going to help my family out with any and everything. First off, their finances, I'll make them my own money, then perhaps even show them how, or maybe even kick their ass into gear. The psychology, the influencing, stuff like that, I can use that to help communication between both parties. These old factions, these old feuds that were in my family beforehand, there's ways to get around them. There's ways to make the other side hear each other. There's way to go compromise and go around it. Like this, the confidence that this program has given me, or at least in myself, and my ability to do these things, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that I can help my family immeasurably in any and every way. From once again, financially, of course, which is the biggest thing for most people, I imagine. Fighting, understanding one another, truly taking the time to listen to them and how they're feeling and how what they even value, what they care about, and at that, just speaking to them in their language, the way they want to be spoken to, and to truly connect with them. What results have I gotten from HTC? Well, for one, financially, I've already doubled my income just because it really wasn't anything like it, and I know I can probably go 800% what I'm doing right now. It's going to take a while to get there, and I'm not saying it's overnight, but I can absolutely consistently put in the effort and do what is required to do what I need to do in order to get that financial goal. And that was only from just realizing, hey, I actually can work more. Like this, what I thought was working hard, what I thought was being a high achiever, it's fucking nothing compared to what I can do. Just the 2 first weeks before the program even started, I realized, giving you one example, reading books. I always thought, oh man, it's gonna take me weeks to read this book, I need whatever. I read FU Money 3 times in 1 week. I watched one, and this is also with that one of the programs, or the pre-courses we take before, just to give us a foundational knowledge as to what's going on, how everything works, and how the course works. It's about a 7, 8, maybe 10 hour course. Well, not 10, but it's it's a while. But I took that twice, sitting there, taking notes, pausing when necessary. Actually, very, very sincerely, like taking notes. And that was just on top of going to school, on top of having a relationship, on top of working out, on top of what I previously thought was a lot of work is absolutely nothing. I'm absolutely capable of achieving so much more in the least amount of time now, and that's just one fraction of what I'm going to get productivity wise. I know in the future, in the upcoming, I'm never going to stop getting better. I'm never going to stop honing my skill. I'm never going to stop helping myself, working on myself, my relationship, my family, everything. Everything I want in life is absolutely in the palm of my hand. If I were to recommend HTC to a friend, which I absolutely would, unequivocally, with the results I've seen, is irrefutably I would undoubtedly recommend it to a friend. Now, what exactly would I say to that friend? Now, that's dependent on the friend, dependent on their gem type, dependent on the situation, everything. But if I was really serious about getting down, I would figure out some way to get them down to really, first off, connect with them. First off, bring up their pains, like use everything I've learned learned in the course to actually really close them on why they should join the course. Now, as to what benefits they'd get, that's all across the board. That's literally in every facet of life, and that's only speaking with mindset alone. Man, I don't even know where to begin. From their own relationship, from their own families, to their own finances, to any and everything you can think of. Everything's included in here. Like Jesus, this course was so underpriced. I would do my absolute hardest and put in so much thought and effort if I really want to close them on why they should invest in this course, invest in themselves, change their lives. Unfortunately for some of my friends, I suppose no, there's no excuse. Everybody can be closed. Everybody can be closed. If not today, then maybe tomorrow. And it just depends on how much thought and effort you put into it, what their gem type is, how to get them the exact right spot in order to close them on why they should do this, why they should change their life, their mentality, everything. It's across the board. But if I were to recommend it to a friend, just purely speaking in terms of benefits, yes. Let's just put it logically, if you will. If Dan was able to make tens of millions of dollars using this skill, what the hell can you do learning just, if you were become a fraction as successful as he was in just any and everything, all these things, you're going to be well off. I'm at a loss for words, but sincerely, it blows my mind, like, why anyone wouldn't invest. Like, yeah, sure, it's a pretty penny, so I thought, but through the training you'll realize this is nothing compared to what you can get using this program. Like the first class alone, hell, the pre-class, the pre-course you actually took before you even joined it is well worth the price, and every single class just builds up on itself, bringing exponentially more value.